Okay, so there's a lot of noise. We're just gonna have to put up with that. That is not true, Dan. That is very much false. That is very much false. Not true. No such thing. And that is correct. The Gulf of Mexico is the Gulf of Mexico, and that is a fact. It's always been that way in our lifetime, and it always will be. That's a fact. And another fact is that it'll just be renamed after the big baby is no longer in office. They're just gonna rename. Well, it hasn't been renamed, so there's nothing to rename. But as a reference within the Illuminati headquarters, the American division of the Illuminati, they're gonna have to go through and have all their clerical people relabel stuff, and ultimately, it's gonna be a waste of taxpayers' money. It's like painting road lines and then deciding, oh, the HOV lane, it was great, but we're just going to make it a regular lane. And then another politician comes in and they're like, you know what? That HOV lane that was there before and was removed, we're going to put it back. They're just going to keep doing that. And they do it with bike lanes, traffic lanes, and all kinds of shit. And it's a waste of money and time. And that's all people. That's all that's going to happen, man. It's just going to be changed back, and it hasn't really even been changed. If the White House want to refer to something as the Gulf of America or Lake America, I mean, whatever makes them feel good. But the fact is that the Gulf of Mexico is not called the Gulf of America, and everybody knows that. As far as Rhodesia goes, uh, Rhodesia is a little different because, I mean, I'm not overqualified to speak on the history of Rhodesia, but Rhodesia was Rhodesia, and that's Zimbabwe now, right? So Rhodesia is, if you think of a really nice hotel from way back in whatever day, when you were younger, you're like, or say a resort. You went to a resort and it was great and nice and clean and modern and maybe even prestigious. And then you left, you moved away, or you didn't go to that resort for like 25 years, and you went there with your parents when you were 13. You went with your girlfriend when you were 21. You went with your wife when you were 25. Now you're 57. You go back to that resort and you're like, oh my god, what the fuck happened here? This used to be like upscale, and now it's let itself go, and it's a piece of shit, and they renamed it. So it's a piece of shit. It's filthy. It's dirty. The staff suck. The place upkeep there's been no upkeep. The weeds are growing. The it's not clean, and it's a shithole. And then you look at Google reviews. It's got 2.5 stars. That's Zimbabwe today. So it's almost an insult to Rhodesia to say that, or to refer to whatever people want to do. Just in the past week, there's been probably, I would say, There's been some rain. There was a rain a few days ago and a few days before that, and I lost track. But over the span of about 72 hours, I mean, I lost count. I lost count, but it was somewhere over, well over 40 million gallons of raw sewage that was released by New York State into the Niagara River, the lower river. That's 1099 Whirlpool. If you want to find it on a map, but it's not important. But what is important is every time it rains, they release many hundreds of thousands of gallons, if not tens of millions of gallons per release of untreated raw sewage into the river. Just not even 5 miles from the mouth of Lake Ontario. So there's your Lake Ontario. That's why the beaches close in the summer when it gets hot out, and they're like, oh, algae bloom. It's your seasonal algae bloom during a heat wave. The beaches got to close. Don't go to the beach. Don't even let your pets roam the beach. And it's because of raw sewage. It's not a naturally occurring case of where algae might come to the surface and uh, infest and infect beaches. And I get it. Everybody lets their sewage go. That's just how we are in our society. But New York is Trump's home state. Whether I know he's been disowned. Now he's in Florida. He's Florida man. Whatever. I would like to do just a stream to show how much uh, raw sewage goes down the Niagara, and this is above. This is upriver from where people fish, where people do boating, and intakes for water, municipal water, drinking water that is pumped to water towers. Like last month, like there was like I only sampled like a week's worth of sewage releases, and it was one release on its own was 111 million gallons of untreated sewage water. That was just one release. So it was like half a billion gallons of water, untreated water. Some of it is treated, but I'm not mentioning that right now. I'm only talking about untreated, and that's just two sources, two release locations. But I don't really have time to put all that on screen and say, "Hey, look what I found," and I didn't find it. I get dispatches every time it happens because I guess by law they're supposed to let the public know, "Hey, look, local residents, yeah, we just released some more because it rained." And yeah, he's trolling, but he's spending a lot of tax money. Your money's being spent on stupid bullshit. You know. Yeah. Well. He's trolling, but that's true. He should. So the District of Columbia, a principality, should just be renamed Tel Aviv uh, Light or Tel Aviv Junior or Tel Aviv version 2 or whatever. Just Tel Aviv. Sure, why not? And my avatar is so small, but that is a lock. I don't know what lock that is, but it's clearly out of season because there's some guy standing at the very bottom. You gotta squint. There's a guy standing there. Anyway, that's for a ship to pass through a canal. There's 8 locks on the Welland Canal. I don't know how Cornhole in Canada and also Doug Ford, the Premier of Ontario, are going to handle that situation. But the Welland Canal is not just essential; it's the only way to get from the Atlantic to Lake Superior. Any ship is going to use the Welland Canal. It's used all day long, almost all year. It closes for a short time in the winter for maintenance, and sometimes some of the doors of the locks might be rebuilt or something. But this thing's going like 9, 10 months out of the year, and ships are passing through this thing. It's 8 locks. It goes. It's for traffic traveling between Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. Because you do have the Niagara Escarpment, obviously you can't take a ship up that without locks, and that's in southern Ontario. So I don't know how that's all going to work. Doug Ford, and they don't have governors in Canada. They're called premiers. These are elected provincial leaders, and they're called premiers. And Doug Ford, brother of former Mayor of Toronto Rob Ford, is Ontario's premier as of I don't know how many years ago, maybe 6. The other one was a lesbian Muppet, and I can't remember when Doug Ford came into play, but Doug Ford was actually running for. He wanted to be mayor of Toronto, and he didn't do too well. So he got into provincial politics, and he became the premier. And I think people were just so desperate to get rid of that googly-eyed, googly fuck from before that Ford got in pretty easily. And so that's maybe you've heard Rob Ford or Doug Ford's name. You've definitely heard Rob Ford. He died about like how many years ago? I don't know, 8 years. Don't know when he died, but he was married. He smoked a lot of crack. He drank a lot. He drank and drove. He drove while drinking. He smoked crack while drinking. He smoked crack while drinking and driving. He went out to the hood and rolled with some gang members to score various things like crack cocaine and maybe some other stuff too. But that made the international news cycle for several weeks, if not maybe a couple of months. So Doug is Rob's brother. And Cornhole, as you know, is the unelected Prime Minister of the Dominion of Canada. Nobody voted for that fucking guy. He's a European banker. Nobody likes him at all. And so I was thinking maybe, just name Lake Erie, temporarily rename it Lake Epstein. And that's all this is. Everything is a distraction. For decades, we've been living with distractions. It's like, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain as the CIA flies their own fucking planes into goddamn buildings in lower Manhattan. Like, don't pay any attention to the man behind the curtain. Started his first oil company, from a loan from, people that they're saying masterminded this completely bullshit, like made up, whatever. Like, I'm sure you know more than I do. Well, the farmer colonies in Africa are actually coming here. They're setting up shop. Hope everyone enjoys the next 50, 100 years. Speaking of nuking, I know I'm beating a dead horse because it's like every time I'm live, it's like, hey, did you know Niagara Falls is radioactive? Like the whole fucking region. Like not even the city, but the whole region. Again, that's I'm talking about Niagara Falls, New York. Again, Donald Trump's home state. He's bitching about wildfires that just happen. Well, not naturally sometimes. In fact, many of them are not natural. It's people setting them every year. All over California and all over the Pacific Northwest and all the way across to the East Coast, deep in the deep forests of Canada, but also the United States. People are lighting fires every year because it's a really good distraction. And whether it's 9/11 or pandemics or uh, Benghazi or any so-called crisis that you can imagine in our lifetime, there's always a distractionary thing. Like, what's Katy Perry doing? Oh, she's going into space. Like she went into space in the winter or some shit. Well, not really, but they say that. Oh, look, this stupid bitch. Well, she's not even a bitch because she's Katy Perry is actually. Have you ever seen her without her makeup? She looks like a boy. I don't mean a man or a guy, just like a boy. And so she's super ugly, right? But they she's a psyop, just like the other one with the blonde hair. I forget her name, but she's. They put these two out at the same time, like maybe 10 or 12 years ago, and they just flooded the PA systems of McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's and Taco Bell and Chick-fil-A and Jack in the Box, all these KFC, Popeyes. With That's where you go to hear these people, the music from these people. People don't actually listen to this shit. They're exposed to it by going to buy Goislop at their favorite service counter or Diabetic Junction or root beer saloon like A&W. And that's where you hear this bullshit. Like for a while, it seemed like the longest time it was Justin Bieber, and then it was uh, it was like Katy Perry and the other one. What the fuck's her name? Whatever, the one with the blonde hair that's super famous, like beyond famous, and nobody knows why, and nobody's heard any of her music. That's very suspicious too, because at least back in the day when we were younger, pop stars, even though you may not have liked them, you still knew their songs because they had songs. Whereas these ones don't seem to really. Nobody seems to know a single song by these fucks. So they put these two out there as distractionary. They're countermeasures. They're what they are. These celebrities these days are countermeasures. So when a missile's shooting through the air, or a torpedo underwater, like if you saw Red October, Connery's like, launch the countermeasures, and then they shoot these fucking things off, and they're emitting some kind of heat, and then the missile or the torpedo or whatever, it kind of hones on to the countermeasures and not the submarine. And so that's what Katy Perry. Oh, it's Taylor Swift. It just wouldn't come to me, but I think you knew who she was. So Katy Perry and Taylor Swift. So they put them out, and Taylor Swift gets more press than Katy Perry these days. There was a time they were maybe equal, but it's like for whatever reason the system invested into Taylor Swift, and she rose like. Meanwhile, Katy Perry, you don't hear much until all of a sudden she's going into so-called space, which she didn't go to in a fiberglass thing, like that Ocean Gate submarine, fake submarine thing that imploded, liquefied all those fucking losers that were going down to the Titanic with that billionaire and his son, and five of them. They're all diversity hires. And they all put this fake company together, and they're like, look, we got a fake submarine made out of fiberglass. from old water slides from old Schlitterbahn that is no longer in operation. They heated it up and reshaped it and made a fake submarine, and somebody donated some PS5 controller, and that's how they controlled the fake fucking thing. And so it's like the counterpart to that was the fake spacecraft that didn't go into space, and it's got Katy Perry and a bunch of fucking ugly girls in it. And so that's your distraction from real shit. I don't even know what was going on at that time, but so much stuff. Like, there's never a slow news day. Not unless you're corporate media, you'd rather just not cover certain things, which is what media is good at. Media is not there to keep you informed. There to keep you distracted and dumbed down and up to date with sports, entertainment, and weather. And then, maybe every once in a while they'll inject, oh yeah, here's a story about pets. Here's a friendly, good local story about pets, man. In between the weather, the sports, the celebrity news. Well, the Dead Kennedys had that album Fresh Fruit for rotting vegetables, so whatever. I'm not sure who that is. Well, yeah, it's very populated in the DC area. Of course he does. If you live within like 50 miles, 100 miles, you're getting your water from the lakes. I don't know how many people live on Lake Ontario, like maybe 30 million. I don't know. I don't know. Lake Ontario has like 15 state parks on it. I'm not sure if there's any provincial parks on the lake, but there's a lot of parkland. There's a lot of, you can ride a bike around that lake. There's so many bike trails, like paved paths. Oh, right, yeah. So apparently he doesn't have water yet. Yeah, I heard that a couple months back. See, most municipalities, what they would do would be they'd send it to the water treatment plant. The city I live, they have 5 plants, and they're all very large. Two or three of them are on the water, like right on the shoreline. And so all the runoff and the drain water and sewer systems and stuff will all they'll be routed through those water treatment facilities, and then from there it's filtered and goes through processes and stuff, and then they release it. And it's probably not perfect, but it's not raw sewage, at least. I mean, well, it's not great. I mean, you're drinking what you discharge at all times, no matter what. But a dead city like Niagara Falls, New York, don't have that facility. So when the sewers back up, they can't accommodate. They just release it into the river. This is a city that's been dead since it's been critical since probably the early 70s, and it's been clinically dead since probably the mid 90s. Thanks to urban renewal, or so-called gentrification, a process that was basically abandoned uh, in a state that apparently loves killing its own. In a city that had the first two Superfund sites in the entire United States. A city that has over 250 toxic landfills with houses and residential neighborhoods built on top, where people have black, weird goo coming off out of their basement, climbing the fucking walls. I don't drink Lake Erie water. I used to when I was a kid. Hi, Miss Kamani. Where you been? I haven't heard from you in like 10 years. Thanks for choosing me to reintegrate into society. I forget who you are exactly, but it's a blast from the past, no matter how you shake it. I think you're actually one of my neighbors, or your family are. Please leave my neighborhood, please. So why did Trudeau give who a reach around? I don't know who, but so Trudeau was not even qualified to be a prime minister, and he was prime minister for like 10 years, and he was a drama teacher. He was a teacher of dramatic arts, and we'll call him Castro. He's the son of Fidel, that tyrant dictator down there in Cuba, that's since passed on. So we kind of have a theme of floodgates going on this stream, as you can see by my avatar. And we're talking about raw sewage and stuff just being released into freshwater systems, it ain't no thing. And so Justin's official dad, not his real dad, but official dad, Pierre, the bald cuck. He was like a balding cuck that looked like a cartoon character. His mom was Margaret, and if you Google his mom, you can see her beaver, because she just liked showing her beaver to like pretty much anyone. His mom actually used to bang the like Keith Richards and Mick Jagger and people like that, and other people too, including Fidel Castro, who they had a thing back in I don't know, early 70s. How old's Justine Castro? I don't know how old that guy is, but he was prime minister. So he got in like 2015 or something like that, 2016. I can't remember. It was around that time. He got in because he's like, if I get in, if you elect me as prime minister, the first thing I'm gonna do is legalize weed. And he stuck to his promise, and that's the first thing he did. He legalized. He didn't just decriminalize weed. He legalized weed coast to coast. Recreational weed, no prescription needed. Just walk into a store and buy your favorite strain of shit. You can buy hash, you can buy oil, you can buy shatter or drip, or you can buy flour, which are dried buds that you grind up and roll into a joint. And so he that's how he got in the first time. That's how he got in, and he got I don't know what his numbers were, but I think he got like a really big majority of people did vote for this fucking fruit. Uh, the son of Fidel, and he looks exactly like his dad, his real dad, Fidel Castro. Rest in peace. And then, if you remember when Castro died, this tyrannical dictator. I don't know if you saw Scarface, Brian De Palma, Oliver Stone, 1983. So he exiles all these criminals and shit and sends them off to Florida. They all end up in Miami or whatever. I mean, it's fiction, but I think it's based on real shit. But if you look at, we'll call him Justin Trudeau for the sake of confusion. I call him Justine Castro. Castreao, or EAU, I mean. He looks like his dad. That's the reason why Justin looks like Fidel. He's got the dark fucking hair. And then when he gets in, after he's elected and he's prime minister elect, and he's in there for like 2 years, what does he do? He grows a fucking communist beard. In our time, the modern era of elections and politics and political fanaticism, and no candidate runs their campaign with a beard. None of them do, because it's not a good look. They used to do that like 150 years ago, but it was more normal to have a beard back then. Whereas now, they don't grow the beard until the Trojan horse is inside the front gates of the castle compound. And so that's what Castro did, or whatever the fuck his name is, the one with whose mom showed the beaver to everybody. I forget it. What's his name? Trudeau. Justin Trudeau, not his fake dad, Pierre, from the 60s. When the fuck was his dad prime minister? Anyways, his dad opened the floodgates. That's where this whole India thing started. Yeah, there was no plane. There was no plane at the Pentagon at all. That's why they didn't release any video of that one. They're like, we need to send the men in black out to all the gas stations in the area and confiscate those videos for investigatory purposes. No, Gordon's not allowed here. No, but I think you are. Have a good day, Swishy. I'm gonna actually. You're boring me already. You're timed out for 5 minutes. Hopefully, you got bored and you go somewhere else. If you want to be in Key West so bad, why do you live in a dust bowl? You want to be in Key West so bad, all you gotta do, rent a U-Haul. You can rent them fucking anywhere. They always have an Arizona plate. Just get the biggest one, or don't even get a big one. Just fit your essential shit in there and just go to fucking Key West, man. Why I gotta live in a dust bowl? And talk about Key West all the time like it's the greatest place. Just go there, man. You won't even spend half the time on the internet once you get there. The weather's nice almost all year long. You got some hurricanes and shit to worry about, but if you're so bored with your life, a hurricane might actually bring some excitement. If there's anybody asking anybody if they're homo, look in the mirror. Jack in the Box. By the way, I've never been to Jack in the Box ever. Because back in the 80s, they had that. I think it was E. coli or something, salmonella. Not sure. It's like, all right, not a good sales pitch. I will never ever go there. I hear rap all day long, everywhere I go. That's the only kind of music I ever hear in public. Now, I'm not sure about that, but people are always like, "Oh, Taylor Swift, she's so nice. She gave her tour bus driver like $10 million to launder. How nice of her." Yeah, he did. He had a stroke recently. Actually, he pushed the jab for a long time. He said anybody that didn't take the, and I'm not judging him because people say shit, but Jello was like, you know, we're in an absolute time of crisis. Anybody that does not take the jab deserves to fucking be in a body bag. He said that. Now I'm paraphrasing him, but he did say that. And so, like 2.5 months ago, he had a stroke, and he's having a hard time right now. And he came out for the first time in public about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he came out for like one song of somebody else's show, and it was like a welcome back to society, Jello. And he had to lean on something. He could only do like one song, and I don't even think he sang. I think he was just doing support vocals. And then he had to go backstage and rest or whatever. But and I'm not really gonna give him a hard time for that. But I don't know if you remember that Ice-T album from 1989 or 90, 89. It's the one where on the front there's the gangster and he's got a gun next to his temple and he just wants to pull that trigger because he just can't fucking take it anymore. It's called freedom of speech. Just watch what you say, or maybe the iceberg. And it's the one that had Peel Their Caps back and uh, the Hunted Child. The girl tried to kill me. It's that album. It's like 2 years before original Gangster. So the first track on that album is called "Shut Up, Be Happy," and it's Black Sabbath. The song Black Sabbath, the first song on the first album, Black Sabbath. It's the music of that, but it's spoken word by Jello Biafra, and this is an Ice-T record. But this is the intro of the album. So, like when you listen to that, if you know what I'm talking about, this spoken word piece, this bit, and it is a bit. It's almost like a comedy bit. It's satire and it's over the top. To go from that to where he's at now is a lot of people do that. He sang with Ministry too, with the band Lard. They had like 3 or 4 EPs and albums, maybe a couple were albums. I'm not sure. There was like 1 or 2 EPs and maybe an album or two, like Pure Chewing Satisfaction. And uh, they had a song called Drug Raid at 4 a.m. and it was about a drug raid at 4 a.m. at your house. And Jello is he's singing like from the first person perspective, where he's like he's awakened, he's just jolted out of his bed by the cops storming his house and tearing his place apart. And it's like a 5-minute song, and the whole moral of the story is it was the wrong house. But that was kind of like an autobiography type situation where, because he was rated for that Frankenpriced album that the Dead Kennedys put out in 1985, and that's the one with the Shriners driving the go karts on the front. Um, so inside that cover, there was a poster by H.R. Geiger with the Wiener landscape, and so he and I guess Alternative Tentacles, which is his record label, uh, was raided by the cops, I guess, in San Francisco. So that's where he was based. The Dead Kennedys are from San Fran, and so was his label, uh, Alternative Tentacles. And so I don't know if you remember when he was on Oprah after that. Oprah had him out, and it was just him on the panel, and it was just face to face with Oprah up on the stage with the two chairs pointing at each other. And he's telling this story about being raided, being threatened with, being tossed in prison and having the key thrown away. So basically, drug raid at 4 a.m. with Lard, which Lard is basically its Ministry with Jello singing. Just like Palehead was Ministry with Ian from Minor Threat singing. Yeah, drug raid at 4 a.m. was basically his story about being raided back in whenever the hell that was. I think that was after the Dead Kennedys broke up, which is, I think, 86 they broke up. Because in 87 they had that Gimme Convenience or Gimme Death greatest hits. It's like Gimme Convenience or Gimme Death. Give me like a compilation so I don't have to go out and just buy all these fucking albums. It's like an instant collection. Oh, you know he did. You know he did. And he rolls with that Drake too. That guy's a real piece of shit, that guy. Somehow I scrolled back, man. Yeah, I always enjoy the spoken word too. Like it's pretty much how we were all conditioned to really see things, especially when you had movies like RoboCop in 1987, or They Live, and then uh, I don't know, and Ministry and Revolting Cocks both for a while in the 80s, and they brought it back recently in recent years, like maybe the past past couple tours, maybe not this one. Ministry are allegedly on their final tour. They got Paul Barker's back in the band too, but they had it was like a like compound chain link fencing on the front of the stage. And Revco used that. Ministry used it, and it's so popular now. It's actually being used again, or has been. Like not just one tour, it was like two or three tours in recent, like the past like 5, 6, 7, 8 years. The Ministry have been using that again. They don't have those. They don't have them in this area. Uh, yeah, that's true. Buffalo's on the comeback. They're really cleaning up the waterfront, and I would like to just do a whole stream, although nobody would care. Like, why is Buffalo like that? One of the reasons is in my avatar. This canal killed the city of Buffalo. It's the nail in the coffin, the final nail in the coffin. Plus other kinds of shit like the chemical industry drying up. The state, meaning Albany, basically taking funds and just keeping them out of Western New York for going on 60 years now. And they send it all. Guess where they send it? You know where they send it. Not to Niagara Falls, New York. Not to Buffalo. Niagara and Erie County are both. They've both been given the shit stick for like 70 years now. Nobody's blocked. What the fuck are you talking about? I had timed somebody out like 5 minutes ago. Dressing up like a Muslim. False flag alert. Dressing up like a Muslim, coming here. No guts to use his real fucking name, even though I know who it is. Nobody's blocked, you retards. You're too white to not have a frontal lobe. You gotta use your brain too, please. Yeah, from drama teacher to so at least he didn't steal his way in like Cornhole did. Where well, he didn't steal. Cornhole's he was inserted, so that's why Castro or Trudeau stepped down so they could inject this fucking guy, keep the Pierre Paul out. Because that's who people wanted it. That Pierre guy. I can't pronounce his last name. Too many R's, too many vowels. I don't have handlers. There's strike one. Let's try. See, his timeout's expiring, but he still went through the effort to make up a new fucking name. And if you just wait another 5 minutes, you could have came in with that Muslim handle that you made up, and you'll probably never use that one ever again. You change handles like fuck, I don't know what. I'm trying to catch up. I didn't realize I'm 15 minutes behind, man. We're not talking about Castro. We're talking about Castro Jr. And it's kind of important because during those, like, I don't know how long that was, like a decade, a lot of stuff could have been happening, and it didn't. Just people were distracted with stuff like so-called lockdown, so-called rollout. Oh, we're locked down, but if we accept the rollout, we won't be locked down anymore. We'll still have our fucking savings accounts taken away. We'll still lose our mortgages. We'll still lose our properties, and our businesses will close. We don't even have TDS here. We're just sick and fucking tired. I'd just like to say I tried real quick. Remember one time you I didn't. I heard that this week. Sometime somebody somewhere else that Apparently, her channels are she's retired from YouTube, and she's probably going to Kick or something like that, like Richard. I don't use Kick. Maybe in the winter when there, there's less to do in the winter because you're kind of imprisoned because of the weather and stuff. So I use internet more in the winter. Summer is not a good time to start setting up shop on a server because everybody's usually outdoors enjoying the weather. Okay, so PR was in the 70s and part of the 80s. Thanks, DSL. I'm really not sure the timeline of any of that. I just know what he looks like. I know what his wife looked like. I know that everybody's seen his wife's beaver, seen her beaver. I don't know who this Vespa guy is, but he's being insulting. That's his third insult. And again, a distraction. Don't come here distracting people or insulting me, man. Yeah, he's an unpaid blogger. That's pretty much what he is. He's an unpaid agent. It's like when Public Enemy started endorsing people like Bernie Sanders. It's like, Chuck, what's wrong with you, man? Oh, this fuckhead's back. My people have master's degree. Well, go be with your people then. You're here on a Friday night. You're here on a Friday night. Hi, Chloe. This guy's complaining of this and that. His people have master's degree, but you can't say properly. And you're spending your Friday night here with us. Thanks. You're just clogging up the chat now, man. For now, you're timed out, but soon I'm just gonna have to ban you because I don't know who you are. Never seen you before, and you want to flood the whole thing with nonsense. So you can fuck off. Just go do something else on a Friday night. Do whatever you need to do, but maybe get out of the house, man. Fuck off, because you're boring. Yeah, I already said that. I didn't like their final. What the fuck? My screen jumped. What fucking thing jumped. Something about Ministry doing their final tour. The last Ministry album I bought was that Houses of the Mole one with the All Seeing Eye Providence on the front. The first song was No W. I thought that album was actually really good. But after that, it was just kind of like, oh my God, like what's going on? And then I saw for their new album that they put like two little like teaser clips out, and they were literally videos made using LLM. And I was like, holy fuck, man, that's pretty low. But I haven't purchased a Ministry album in like 22 years. A new one, I should say. That's okay. I do get stream sniped a lot. That's why I often don't announce the streams anymore because people that they say, "Oh, we're friendly and we're friends and I enjoy hanging out." And it's like, then why'd you start your stream fucking 15 minutes before I did? And I set this thing up like yesterday, and you just happen to start at an awkward time, 15 minutes before mine was due. So people can do whatever they feel they must. Yeah, all commodities will be like that. Flour, barley, wheat, sugar, grain, all kinds of shit. Rice. Wait till coffee goes up. Probably. Yep. Pretty much. He's too. The partisan thing makes no sense at all, man. When he's singing about New World Order on an album in 1992, I saw them once. They opened up. They were an opener. They opened up for Chris Conley when he went solo. That's where I was at that venue in Columbus, and there's fucking dog porn on all the fucking monitors. I was talking about that last week. That's who I saw. I didn't even hear any. I don't think there were any here, man. It's Fan Expo. I don't think the Jeets go to Fan Expo, do they? Hi, Forrester. I lost my connection the other night. When I came back, you were gone. So that's what happened. Everybody loves that album now. Like people talk like that's the biggest thing of all time. They're like, Phil Pig, Phil Pig, Phil Pig's great. It's possible, but maybe not until the next election after the upcoming one. Because if she's single now, which she is, I think the criteria is you have to be married or whatever. You remember cracking up on Linger Thick and Good? Okay, so you're telling me Dana has set up a stream for later and is undermining this one? Well, if you're gonna undermine mine, maybe I might have to ban her. Maybe. Does she look like she has the face of a donkey? So we've dropped from 16 to 8 when it was announced that certain so and so was setting up the stream. Listen to these fucking foreigners. Just can't keep their voices down. Uh, all right, so we're 1 hour old right now. All right, we just lost two thirds of our audience. Because somebody is undermining the stream. That's okay. That's what people do. They're like, we're gonna do our best to sabotage your numbers and stifle the turnout. And then there's always one guy that's using like 3 different names, and he comes in here to insult people, just to distract. Well, I heard she did. I didn't hear it. I read it. I read it from 3 different other people. So, I mean, unless she comes back in a reasonable amount of time and explains her actions, or maybe what she did or didn't do, I might have to ban her from here. I don't mean like a 1 month ban. I mean like 6 months, 6 years, 16 years. I think she looks like her mouth looks like some kind of donkey mouth. To me, she looks like an animal of some kind. Maybe it's the teeth. Maybe if she had no teeth, she'd look better. Maybe. Yeah, I see that all day long. All day long, that's what they do. Talk on their phone real loud. It doesn't matter if it's at a restaurant or a place of business or a store or on a subway or on a sidewalk or in a park or on a beach or on a boat. It doesn't matter. It's every single situation, every environment. That's all I see and experience. Yeah, see? Why does it keep jumping? Yeah, I always thought that. If somebody can reach out to Dana right now quickly before this one ends to get her back here so she can explain herself and why she was undermining this stream when we're in full momentum. Okay. I get it. I was 18 minutes behind, but I caught up and now I'm caught up. But I've lost 55% of my audience because of something that she may or may not have done. So somebody can get a hold of her. I'm not able to. bring her back to explain what in the fuck is going on. Yeah, she set one up. Now she's got 4 people sitting in there. She's got 5 people on standby waiting. Oh, well, one of them's that fake user. Got really defensive when I called him squishy, so that either means squishy or possibly somebody who in the past claimed to be friendly with me. Yeah, I got 3 people that used to come in here a lot and no longer do, so it's not hard to do the math. In fact, I suspect I know who that might be if it is not the person that was already mentioned. But anyways, that's a fake user. Totally fake. And what else? That was 25 minutes ago. Why are you guys endorsing that still? Right? Why are you still doing promo work? Are you part of the street team? If you were blocked, you wouldn't be able to post here. I would not be able to uh, facilitate your entries into my chat module and put you on the screen like that if you were blocked. So fuck you. Don't spread lies and say, "Oh shit, I was blocked." Sent on a cattle car to the world's biggest oven that gets to like 5,000 degrees. Conventional oven. I didn't say you were blocked. I said if you're going to undermine the business here, we're trying to run a business, okay? Trying to run a business here, okay? It's not fun and games. It's not fun. It's not a fun place. It's not a fun. This ain't a hobby for me, all right? It's a business. A month ago, I did finally get a sponsor for these fucking streams. I got a sponsor. I'm like, oh, great. What are my options? I'm thinking I'm going to get John Deere. I'm going to get Milwaukee tools. I'm going to get Leatherman tool belts and stuff. No. The only one I could get was like Rainbow brand anal nitrates. And I'm like, this is it. This is the best I can do for a sponsor. So reluctantly, having not known anything about anal nitrates, how they work, what they're for, what kind of people use these, I'm like, you know what? I need all the help I can get. If I'm able to generate some revenue through a sponsor, then I can, create content, because you can't create content without money. Remember? So I get anal brand, rainbow brand anal nitrates, and then I do like 3 or 6 or 10 shows, not shows, streams, and my numbers just got worse and worse and worse and worse, and then participation waned, and then I get a notification that I've been dropped by my sponsor, and so they kind of abandoned me. They're like, your numbers are too low. We can't sponsor a program that has such few listeners and participants and viewers and traffic. So they severed ties with me. I was kind of glad, because I didn't really want them as a sponsor at all. Because it's like, fuck, who the fuck wants to be sponsored by a company like this? So in the end, I guess I worked for both parties involved. I'm kind of glad that they left, and I think they're glad they left too. Yeah. No, normally I would use products that, so I can get behind those products, but I didn't even have time to even learn about these things, and it's like I didn't even have a choice. I'm like, give me something I can use, like a John Deere riding mower, or maybe uh, I don't know, some power tools. But I couldn't get that. I tried. I tried and tried. I'm like, give me an ammo belt. Give me a tool belt. Uh, Give me like a water purification system that people can have in their homes. So they could remove all the heavy metals and toxins from their municipal water supply thing. No, couldn't get all that. But whatever, whatever. Not even. It's not even because of politics, or anything like that. They just don't want any independent, sound-minded, independent individualism on YouTube, because it doesn't fit in with Google's overall thing. So they superheat these channels that are totally irrelevant, and maybe even filled with lies, and they pump them out. And they're like, here you go. Here's this guy. He's got 10 million views, and then the more views you get, the more views other videos of that person will get. But if it's even a person, sometimes it's just a company that's dressed up to look like it's a quote unquote YouTuber, which is a bullshit word. That's a problem on its own. That word YouTuber, that is a big problem. I don't know if you're mocking me or what. Why don't you come up for the last? When are you scheduled to go live? Because if you come up, maybe you can explain your schedule, and maybe we can work something out. And maybe I can just shut this shit show down. All right. I can just shut it down, and you can just have fun doing whatever it is you do over there, talking about Van Nuys, California, and Los Angeles celebrities and high schools and Hollywood High, and the set of skateboard stairs that you can't even skateboard off of anymore because they put some fucking gate up at night. Just let me know. Let's work this out. We can get to the bottom of it, and it'll be beneficial to us both. Like in the old days when we used to like give each other reach arounds and stuff, and we can do that in a way that it is very professional and uh, we can accommodate your for your time slot, or don't. If you don't want to, if you're not comfortable, if your agent has not okayed uh, doing that, then so be it. So as always, the link is in the description, and also it's not pinned anymore. I think I pinned something else. So there it is. I don't know. So we peaked at 18. It was mentioned that she was just going to go live, and we dropped to 12. And then within 3 minutes, we're down to 8. Then we were down to 7. Now we worked our way back up to 12, where we dropped to 9, and we're currently at 10. See, this is sabotage. This is industry sabotage, but I'm used to it. We're all used to it. Uh, been stream sniped for like going on 2 months now. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with it. And if nobody wants to call out this kind of behavior, then so what? So be it. So you have the link is there. I'm not gonna force anybody to take the link, but I will judge you for not taking the link. G3C is like the W3C. Jesus. All right, last call. Last call. Explain yourself or don't. I think they had that in MGS3. And that's okay. Forestry came up the other night. I was mostly talking about uh, people that are accusing me of doing certain things that are not true. And if they could maybe clarify their intentions in terms of undermining the current stream that's established, and also maybe just hey, let me know when you plan to start your uh, your competition stream, and I will work with that, and I will just end this so you can just take the whole audience and not just half of it or 2/3 of it. You can just have everybody. That would be a good idea. See, then we can get, there's we oh, Jesus Christ, man. Okay, so you're not gonna come up and explain yourself or your actions or your malicious intent. Right. Well, we haven't even gotten back half of the people that left. Right, the damage is done. We're teetering between 9 and 12 viewers. We were almost at 20. So the damage is done. It can't be undone. So I don't have handlers. What's your real name that you used before you changed it to whatever the fuck, something Vespa? Who are you? Why have I never seen you before? Why would you say that I have handlers? Like I'm a New World Order puppet. Everybody, I'm here. I'm an installed agent that is just here to what, do monologues and kill 2 hours. Dan, are you coming up or not? Last call. Uh, Not directly answering the question will be taken as a sign of aggression. I don't take meds. You have a lot of extra handles on standby. You're one of three people. If you had, the guts, you would just use your real name. You just use your the name that you're known by, but you don't have the guts. You also don't have the courtesy for any of these people whatsoever. Take my meds. This is somebody that uses multiple names on YouTube, of all places. And this person will spend every Friday night and Saturday on YouTube, and then they'll tell you that you need to take your meds because they're uh, shuffling through a bunch of usernames that I've never seen any of these fucking names before, and they're lipping off, and it's I'm the problem. I'm the problem because you want to pollute my chat, and I'm to take meds because you're dumping raw sewage into my stream on a Friday night. This is the highlight of your week, man. I'm not upset by trolls. They've derailed the thing, just like you did. Are you coming up or not? You're not answering me. You're changing the subject. And I'm not upset by trolls. I'm simply stating the fact that this person that has come in probably is the one that has numerous kinds of meds that are, to me, unpronounceable, and probably has a whole stash of different types of meds that they are required to take. Whereas I do not take any meds at all. So why would they say that? Am I not allowed to clarify something or call out somebody's bullshit anymore? Like, are you not allowed to do that? I have tried to provide an environment that's free from pseudo intellectualism and fake bullshittery. Um, I didn't see anyone backstage ever. For somebody who's a so-called psychiatrist thing, one, I wasn't talking to you. I'm talking to the people that are using fake names, like three of them, probably all the same person. And it's victim, 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 victim. How many more victims are here on a Friday night? Any more Friday night victims here? Why not just come back? Use your real name. So I call you Swishy once. That was almost an hour ago, and you're still hung up on that. Now you're overemphasizing that. So something's up with that. Who are you then? I've never seen you before. You're somebody else that's using a different name tonight. That's not your real fucking account either. Don't tell me it's your real account. Why not have some guts, man? I mean, it's sad enough you got to be on YouTube on a Friday night as a fucking audience member. And you have no credibility whatsoever. You're not here to have a good time. You're not here to hang out. You're just here to be a bitch. And you're doing it anonymously. And you're boring. Like, it's not even funny, man. It's not even fun at all. I actually have something for you. If you stand by, I'm going to send it your way in a sec. All right. Well, Dana's friend is no longer with us. Maybe they'll come back with a fourth or fifth account name. I don't know, but it's too much of a distraction, and don't really have time for that because unlike them, time like I would rather do other things. I would rather be doing other stuff, and if you're gonna be a troll, be clever and always be witty. And I'm not asking you to be funny because the bar is so high. So if you're gonna try comedy, if you can't do it right, don't go for comedy. But at least be witty or something, man, or relevant at least. Any last words? Any final comments? Any pseudo intellectualism you got left? Want to put out there? And anybody else would, if you would like to pat yourself on the back, maybe you want to do it one more time so everybody can see. All right. I don't know where the chat interface went. I don't know where the comments went. I don't know where they connected. Oh, there. Oh, all right. Well, they came back. You know, back when we were younger, we'd watch sports. You'd only have like maybe that one guy in a generation that did showboating and stuff. But now you got all these mediocre sports players that they showboat all the time, and they're not skilled enough to be doing any of that showboating nonsense. So if you're gonna showboat and stuff, at least have a skill set and excel at it. And that's, I mean, fuck, man. I don't even know what else can be said, man. No showboating unless you're really good at what you do and can. You have the numbers to justify doing that. Even then, even still, you shouldn't. You really shouldn't be showboating because only a dickhead would do that. I don't even know who the fuck that is. I don't watch basketball at all. My idea of basketball is fucking taking a fucking basketball and booting it off a fucking roof into traffic. That's, to me, that's basketball. Kicking a fucking ball off a roof in a live traffic and seeing what car it hits. To me, that is the ultimate. That's the best basketball that I can even remotely take part in. Basketball is uh, fuck. I don't know what I can say. It's like everybody wants to be, some showboating celebrity and or egotistical maniac. It's like, look at me. Me neither. There are no team sports on YouTube, so you showboat all you want. You're not going to get. Uh, there's no team to sign you next season, so quit doing that shit. It's not a high school. I didn't even fucking partake in that shit in high school, but this isn't high school, and these aren't hallways, so you don't have to try to impress everybody all the time. Also, nobody gives a fuck what you do because odds are that you say you do something, and odds are that you don't even do that. So why bother telling people? Like, who gives a fuck? Nobody cares. Like, nobody gave a shit until it's like, look at me. Yeah, basketball. Don't give a fuck. Don't care. Basketballs are meant to be kicked. Like, can you ruin a basketball by kicking it? I'd kick it like on pavement for like 20 blocks and scuff the whole ball up and turn it into an egg. And then at the end, I would just fucking stab it with something that'll stab it and let the air out. I have no idea. I lived in a basketball city once, and it was one of the college cities. It wasn't like NBA. And fuck, that's all they did was talk about, oh, the college team's great. Isn't it amazing? Your comments are not relevant at all, man. Well, I've only seen it tonight, but when I read your comments on here in here, like right now, it just says, "Look at me, me. Pay attention to me." Like I bring nothing, I offer nothing. I've anonymized my name. I don't even have an avatar for this account here. As you can see, it's a pink M, which is a play on words for three different things we discussed over an hour ago. No coincidence there. And it's just me. You. Yeah, I get it. You. The dead Kennedys broke up in '86. We already covered this an hour and 20 minutes ago, dude. There is no dead Kennedys. What are you talking about? There's some restaurant somewhere. They're like, we don't play rap music here. No, black people are up in arms. They're like, that's racist. It's like here, there are some restaurants where, like, after 7 p.m. or something, you're not allowed to have a laptop or a tablet in that fucking place because it's a fucking restaurant, man. During the day, fine. All right, you bring your fucking laptop, be a pseudo intellectual asshole. But like after like 7 or 8 p.m., you're not allowed to have a fucking laptop or a tablet. It's not what we're going for. A bunch of lizards just hanging around with their face all illuminated from some fucking corporate conglomerate bullshit. That seems really cold, man, for August. All I have to say is this is literally the coldest fucking summer I've ever experienced in life. Yeah, it's about 59 here right now. And to me, it feels like a fucking iceberg. I mean, it's late in the month, but actually, it's the end of the month. It's 29 today. It's 59 Fahrenheit, 15 Celsius. That's absurd, man. That's all right. She's back. I hope you've cooled down. I hope you don't harbor any kind of animosity. I'm only trying to do what's right for you, and I'm trying to protect you. I'm trying my darndest to make you better at what you do, whatever the fuck that is. Yeah, like I wore long sleeves all summer, like all summer long. Uh, Actually, I usually do in the summer because I can't do the sun at all, man. I got to keep the sun off me. But there was really no time where I thought, oh Jesus, like I'm crazy for walking around like this. Like it wasn't like that at all. And I've never sun bleached my sleeves like I have this summer because it really was kind of chilly, especially like the overnights have been. The temperatures don't usually have a variable like they did this year, this summer, and it really was like the chilliest fucking summer I've ever experienced. Summer came late and it ended early because it's been cold for about 2 weeks, and there was no killer heat wave even either. Like there's usually always a heat wave that lasts anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, and it's killer, and people die, and the media hysteria campaign starts, and they're like, beware of old people. If you see an old people doing grocery shopping, call 911 immediately because they shouldn't be out of their house because it's summer and it's hot. But this year there was none of that. It's a PIQUED. Do you, but do you use Old Spice? Old Spice. Yeah, imagine she had like a dime bag carpet, or it's like just this pink landing strip thing, like dime bag's beard. Hi, Glowy. 73 in Boston right now. Join you where? Where are we supposed to go? I sold the hot tub. I don't have the fucking jacuzzi anymore. We broke up. I'm like, all right, I don't need this. Retailed for like $599.99 or $59.99.99, like $6,000 plus tax. I bought not purchased in Ontario, so that's 13%. So that's $113 on $1,000. Yeah, this fucking thing was like $6,500. So I put it up on Marketplace. I'm like, it's been uninstalled, comes with the pumps and like some pool noodles, even though you don't need them in a jacuzzi, but throw in the pool noodles just for decor and stuff, and a floating tray for coffee or beverage or whatever. And I'm like, $400. Come and take it. Light enough, 2 people can lift it on the back of the truck. It's fiberglass. Yeah, I'll help you lift in the pump and put mechanism, whatever. And so I sold it. I got rid of it. And they didn't even lowball me. I'm like $400, and they're like, "So you want 400?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm thinking, oh, they're gonna say, "How about 3?" And I would have just said, "Yeah, all right, fine, give me fucking 3, and just let me help you just load this thing up and just enjoy it, have a great time." But no, they gave me 4, and so yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have the our jacuzzi anymore, Dan. I'm sorry. Not that I needed the money, I didn't want to look at this thing anymore. Didn't want to look at it. In the Poconos, they used to have this place, that resort with the you sit up in the wine glasses, where the stand would go up to like the second floor, and then you'd sit like way up there, overlooking your hotel room. Anyways, that place is gone. They don't. That place doesn't even exist anymore. Yeah, well, they do in comic books. Like I used to read the Punisher when I was like 11. I think that's when the Punisher came out. 10 years old, maybe 11. And he would get like end up in a prison, so he'd find a pool noodle like down a cell block or something. He'd cut it, and then he'd wrap it around the barrel of his, I don't know what, maybe G23 or something. And yeah, it'd work. It'd silence the gun. Not a single person in that whole cell block would hear it. The guard wouldn't hear it. So yeah, it's true. You can silence a 22 with a pool noodle. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. I'm thinking of going back to school. Actually, might as well. I mean, what else is there to do? There's almost nothing. It's like I need to get in a new line of work, anyways. It's like I might as well go to school. The only thing is, if I do, I know what I'm in for. Like I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be in there with a ton of brown people, and the first like week is just gonna be sitting in these fucking modules talking about equity, inclusivity, and all the whole like bullshit thing. Like I don't know if you never mind. But That's what I dread most. Like half of the whole program is going to be just about equity and inclusion and diversity, and I mean it's all like that now, and it's like fuck, man. I don't. I need to make up my mind quick because it's fall already, and it's like fuck, man. So I thought I would. I'm kind of busy doing some stuff for real right now, like stuff that I have to do. But I'm gonna have to go back to fucking school. Oh, really? That works, huh? That's some. It sounds like some Marky Mark stuff. Yeah, I sold all the fucking IKEA furniture and everything. Sold the fucking jacuzzi. Actually, I didn't sell the IKEA furniture because you don't sell that stuff. You just put it on the curb. Nobody's buying IKEA furniture. Nobody, even if it was free, nobody would want to pick it up and move it. I don't know if you placed ads recently for heavy shit, but good luck getting any of that stuff picked up, even if it's free. So what I did was normally you put it on the curb, you just leave it out there, and then eventually garbage day comes, and they garbage guy throws in the back of the garbage truck, and it just crushes it and stuff. So if I've found out that if I want to get rid of stuff sooner than garbage day, like say garbage day is on Monday, so you put the shit out there on Saturday night or Sunday night, and then Monday night garbage truck comes by. Garbage day is on during the night here because it's so fucking busy during the day. You can't possibly navigate a garbage truck through like traffic is so intense and the streets are tight. So the garbage process, the pickup is at night after rush hour, like 2, 3, 4 hours after rush hour. Usually between like 8 p.m. and midnight. So if I put like a large item out and it's I have to get it out, say, because I need to get it out for one reason or another. I'll put it out on say a Wednesday or Thursday. So garbage day, if it's on Monday, like that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's like 6 days. It's got to sit out there, and I might not want it outside that long. So what I do, like if it's a desk from IKEA or something that you're never gonna sell for any amount of money, even if it's free, because people don't like picking up shit anymore because people are very lazy. Even as consumers, they're very lazy. They want that you to deliver it to them, even though the item's free. They're like, do you deliver? And of course you don't. So what I do, I put items like that on the curb, and then I tape a sign on it. It says 100, like with a dollar sign, like $100, and that shit'll be gone by next morning. That's it. End of story. That's how you put something on the curb. You don't just put shit on the curb. You want that shit to go away quick. Just put like $50, $100, 150, and that shit'll be gone before morning. Forrester, you should be. You got a forward thinking mind. In fact, the university is a good place to be forever. I would just stay there because you don't want to be in the fucking work sector, man. Not these days. There's no future in any industry. unless you're in security or some kind of police work of some kind, or you're an administrator for some agency that's contracted to either like a revenue agency, the government, or whatever. I would just stay in university till I'm like 70 years old, and by the time you're 50, you'll be running that place. Yeah, I know people that have been in university for like 20 years, and well, I guess they teach, so that's I guess much of the reason. But they didn't used to. They were just a student, but um, I've posted like listings like 2 years ago. I left like 458 tracks on the side of, and they were neatly boxed. It was like 5 boxes, 4 boxes maybe, and they were very large boxes, and reinforced like so they wouldn't give out and stuff. And they were like over taped on the bottom so that they would not give out no matter what. And I left like 400 plus eight tracks out there. They're all neatly in the box and everything, and I'm like almost 508 tracks for free, like pick up on. And I gave it like one of my neighbor's addresses because I didn't want to put my fucking address on the in the listing, so people are knocking on the door and shit and asking about fucking the shits that's clearly on the fucking curb waiting for them. And then I had do not respond to this ad. It's on the curb. Do not respond to this ad. Just come and pick up. Ad will be removed when they're gone. I had like 75 responses. Can you deliver? It's like, can you hold these for me until next month? And it's like every fucking thing but what the instructions were. So when shit's for free, I don't even list it. I just put it on the fucking road. And I kind of put it down a ways. Not in front of my place, but somebody else's. Yeah, they have those here. They're called actually. They come here to get fake degrees. They're called diploma mills. You can go to any industrial park and see these fucking places. And there's never anyone there. They're paying rent. It looks like it's some kind of production facility of some kind. And then on the other side, you'll have like a bakery. And then on the other side of that, you'll have like a tire shop or a wheel hub shop of some kind. And then down from that, you'll have like some plating company. And then down from that, you have some kind of weird, they do something with plastic. I don't know what. Another one makes like bushings and gaskets. And then another one down from that is like a print company, and but sandwiched in between all this shit is some fake fucking university that's clearly not a fucking university. It's fucking fake, and it's basically a diploma mill where they're just churning out these fake fucking diplomas for people that are clearly not going to school for anything, and uh, that's just how it is now. And like when I managed the store, I would have all these fucking Pajeets would be coming in like pretty much all the time, like all year long, whether it was solicited or not. and they'd be dropping off resumes and shit. And you can clearly see on the resume that they just had no work experience, no life experience. Nothing. You're not allowed to ask them their age, but you can tell how old they are based on when it says they graduated school. They're like graduated school, started university this year, and meanwhile it's like 2 years ago, and it's overseas. It's like 27,000 fucking million miles away, and then you have some other kid that's like maybe like 20 years old. He's got 2 years experience in like nuclear medicine and chem bioengineering and all this fucking made up shit that he's got degrees over in fucking India, and he graduated with honors, fucking sending space rockets to Saturn and shit. And I mean, none of that shit counts. That doesn't mean shit. That ain't fucking. They all have that too. They were like 18 years old, and it's like, well, it looks like he graduated from high school like a year ago or two at the most. And meanwhile, they got like 18 years of fucking university already. They've been in the workforce for like 6 years. And meanwhile, this person should be like 60 years old, and they're like 18, and they got degrees in astrophysicism and rocketry and telemetry and it's like, I used to work at nuclear power plant, and it's like, no, you didn't. And if you did, why the fuck are you coming to apply for a fucking job at my fucking store, man? If you're some you work for the energy sector in your shithole, which you didn't do. I know you didn't. You didn't fucking go to school for that, and you didn't work at a nuclear power plant. So quit fucking telling me that. Well, they mostly wouldn't even be called in for an interview, but sometimes they drop it off directly to you. They're like, I'm dropping off the resume. I would like job. Like, okay, what do you do? What are you looking for? And then you go through the fake motions where you get the little pen out. It's the big one with the multicolored things that you click. It's like red. I click red, green, blue, 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 black, blue. And then I write on the top, what are you looking for? Are you looking for full time? Are you looking for part time? Like, I'm looking for full time. Yes, I'm looking for. And then you'll have the other one, and it's like, I'm looking for part time because I am student. And it's like, oh, so you don't want to commit. You just want to be part time because you're a student. I see. Well, where are you attending school currently? And it's like, I am going to George Brown. It's like, oh, what are you doing? And it's just an endless story of fucking bullshit, man. It's like, oh, well, are you here on a student visa? It's like, yes, I'm here on a student visa. I cannot work more than 20 hours a week by law. And I was like, wow, how convenient for you to be fully uncommitted to work. You came all this way right across the fucking planet to come and go to a fucking school like that for what again? You're already a fucking a doctor of nuclear engineering. Like, what the fuck? Like, what is this shit, man? Maybe I should do that. I'm like, I went to school in India. I made space rockets and sent them into space. If it doesn't work for me, why should it work for them? Like suck my dick and fuck off with that fucking horse shit. Go back to, you worked at very best, your parents worked at a fucking boiler room, saved up enough money to send you here. Now you're scamming the fucking system on some fake student visa. Meanwhile, you got a fucking beard that looks like ZZ Top. You're not a teenager. You're 45 years old. Why are you a fucking student at all? I don't know where Dana is. I guess she's going live. She's probably undermining my whole fucking thing. Yeah, look, come join me. She's telling everybody, come join me. Like, what? You're not even saying anything here. You're like, let's lure, let's poach potential customers. I hope we get nuked soon. That would be really good. I hope we get fucking obliterated and melted, and I hope these Great Lakes just get fucking burned right up and all the water evaporates, and I hope we die in a fucking nuclear fire, because that'd be really good. We don't have to fucking put up with this fucking bullshit again. So, I hope you enjoyed this fucking stream. No fucking guests again, and until next time, fucking